Hey fam, Master Coach G here, thriving after 50, mind, body, soul. And in this week's episode, we are uncovering how fasting can help prevent diseases. Yep, that's right. You heard me correctly. Fasting can help you to prevent diseases. Now, when fasting is done strategically and safely, it can help prevent several chronic diseases by triggering a powerful biological process. So what I'm going to do in this episode is I am going to give you a clear breakdown on how this works. This is Master Coach G, and I will see you on the inside. Hey fam, Master Coach G here, thriving after 50, mind, body, soul. And in this week's episode, we are uncovering how fasting can help prevent diseases. Yep, that's right. Fasting can help to prevent diseases. When fasting is done strategically and safely, it can help prevent several chronic diseases by triggering a powerful biological process. So what I'm going to do is I am going to break down how this process works. Okay? The first thing is that it improves your insulin sensitivity. Okay? Fasting will help reduce insulin resistance. And it's a major driver of type 2 diabetes. So what happens is when you fast, your blood level sugar drops and your body uses stored glucose. Your cells become more responsive to the insulin that your body is producing. So let me tell you why that matters. Because better insulin sensitivity means less risk of diabetes, obesity, and heart disease. That's why it matters. It also reduces inflammation because chronic low-grade inflammation fuels diseases like cancer, Alzheimer's, arthritis. Fasting has been shown to lower inflammatory makers like CRP and IL-6. Activity in inflammatory pathways, it actually helps that activity with the pathways. Why does that matter? Because you have less inflammation, stronger defense against most degenerative conditions. You know how our bones start to, that's why they want you to take a bone density, especially women, bone density test. Because we want to make sure that that nothing is deteriorating. Okay? Cells, this is something else that's really important. It helps with cellular cleanup. So when you fast and you're in a fasting state, your body is in repair mode. Okay? That's why I fast from 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day. So while you're sleeping, your body is in fast mode. And while it's in fast mode, it's also repairing itself. It's in repair mode. That's the reason why sleep is so important, because your body, you're fasting during sleep time. You're not sleep eating or sleepwalking, sleep eating, if you will. So that means your body is fasting. So let's say if you go to bed at 10 o'clock and you don't wake up until 6 a.m., then your body has gone through a fast. So yes, your body is fasting while you're sleeping, and your body is repairing itself while you're sleeping. So you're in fast mode and you're in repair mode, which helps cellular cleanup. Okay? Old and damaged cells are broken down and recycled during that time. That's why it's important. So fasting is a huge benefit to help us clean up our cells. Okay. It helps with toxin and dysfunctional protein to get cleared out of our cells, because we do have toxins and we do have a lot of protein. That's where our protein is stored, is in our cells. So yes, it helps with toxin and dysfunctional protein. It helps to clean that stuff out of our cells during our time of fasting. Okay, and here's why it matters. Because it helps prevent cancer and diseases that's related to age decline. That's why it matters. Okay. It also supports heart health. Fasting can improve risk factors like blood pressure, cholesterol, triglycerides. All those things are excellent for heart health. That's the reason why fasting is so important, because it does help control our blood pressure and it can lower our cholesterol. So by reducing all of these things, we are at less risk of heart attacks and strokes. So when we support our heart health, we are reducing our risk of the chances of a heart attack and a stroke. And you also lower your risk of cancer as well. Fasting slows down your growth related to signals like insulin growth factor, okay? And which is often overactive in cancer. So when we slow down the growth related to the signals, the insulin growth factor, then we also reduce overactive cancer cells. Okay. It may enhance effectiveness with chemotherapy for those people who are on chemotherapy. It may also be more effective. It will enhance the effectiveness in chemotherapy. And that's another factor in fasting. And I know, I've never had chemotherapy, so I don't know. I know I've talked to some people, and, until their body is used to it, I think they are, they do get sick, and, some people throw up, and, people have different effects. It has different effects on different people. However, fasting can also help the effectiveness of the chemotherapy. It makes healthy cells more resilient and cancer cells more vulnerable. So here's why that matters. It's being explored as a supportive tool in cancer prevention and treatments. Okay, so that is something that they are definitely exploring in reference to being a support tool to cancer prevention and treatment. Fasting. Yes, fasting. That's why it's important. Here's another good point is it also boosts your brain health. Fasting increases your brain your brain's function, which supports the neuron growth that helps protect you against Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. Okay, fasting helps you to support your neurons and growth, which can protect you from Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It can help improve your focus and your mental clarity. So when you come off of a fast, you may find that your memory is a lot sharper. It's a lot clearer. You're able to make better decisions whenever you after you come off of a fast. You'll notice that like immediately. So let me tell you why that matters. Because your brain literally runs better in a fasting mode, fasting state. It does. And if you would just kind of pay attention to that when you come off of a fast. So let's say you don't eat until like, let's say 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Yeah, well, you may be hungry, but you will see that your brain is functioning a lot better after you come off of the fast. So just kind of pay attention to that because it does boost your brain health. And that's really important, especially when you're talking about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, because those diseases are brain related. So you definitely want to kind of pay attention to that because I really believe that it does boost your brain health. And being as that I do, fast daily, I find that, of course, you're sharper in the mornings, but when I don't eat, I get a chance. I'm just clearer. It's just, and then it gives me an opportunity to, when I meditate, it gives me a chance to kind of hone in and focus on what it is that I really want to and need to do throughout the day. So yes, brain health is important. So we have brain health that fasting is a big contributor to. It can lower our risk of cancer, okay? It is a support to our heart health, which we really have to pay attention to because we want to make sure that our blood pressure and our cholesterol and those numbers are good. So yes, it definitely supports heart health. And cell health is vital, and I know it's not a subject that we talk about often, but during our time of fasting, cellular cleanup is happening. It's going into repair mode. Our cells are being repaired, our organs, all the things that needs to regenerate and revive itself is happening during that time of fasting as well. It also reduces inflammation. So you will see that when you fast that you will have a lower grade of inflammation, which will lessen your chances of disease. You're at less risk of diseases like Alzheimer's, arthritis, things of that nature, and cancer. And the number one thing is that it definitely improves your insulin sensitivity. And I think that's major for, to prevent, because what we want to do is we want to prevent as many diseases as we possibly can so that we can, live a healthier lifestyle. So those things are really important and they all matter. Improves your insulin sensitivity, it reduces the inflammation. Cell cleanup is very, very important. So fasting definitely helps with that. It supports your heart health and lowers your risk of cancer, boosts your brain health, and all those things are important. I know that we talk about exercise and sleep and hydration and all that stuff, but this is equally as important. So consider fasting. I would definitely recommend that you speak with your doctor about it. You may want to start off pick maybe a couple days a week that you do it. Maybe not on the weekends because most people are busy and you running around, but I would say pick a couple days during the week, but definitely consult with your physician, primary care, healthcare professional to let them know that you want to consider fasting, and that way you will be able to be effective with it and you'll be able to see the results with it. But make sure that it's done right and it's done strategically. That's the reason why you need to make sure that you are consulting with your doctor. Make sure you have a built-in system so that it will be most useful and helpful to your body. And I know that fasting is not for everyone. Some people are on medication so they have to eat and things of that nature. But even if you just start off saying, I'm going to fast 3 hours a day after I get up from, the morning. Try that and see. I'm not saying you got to go 16 hours or anything like that, but I would say, if you're up at 6, try not to eat until 10 if you can. But definitely consult with your doctor in reference to fasting, because I believe that it will be beneficial to you. Now, if you have any underlying conditions, then you definitely want to take that into consideration as well. Okay, that's what I have for you today. I hope that this information has been useful and helpful to you. If it has, please share it with someone who it may also be a benefit to. And subscribe to my channel so that way when I drop an episode, you will be notified as soon as it goes live. But before I get out of here, as usual, I have to say thank you to my listeners around the world. Here in the United States, Canada, Australia, Russia Federation, China, Mexico, Belgium, Ireland, South Africa, Brazil, Nigeria, United Kingdom, Germany, France, Bangladesh, Ukraine, Kuwait, India, Hong Kong, Dominican Republic, Philippines, Barbados, Saudi Arabia, Spain, Japan, Netherlands, Pakistan, Indonesia, and Portugal. I appreciate each and every one of you for listening and joining me today on Thriving After 50, Mind, Body, Soul. This is Master Coach G, and I will see you on the next level.